Hey guys, what is going on? We are back with another map guide for you here today, and now this is going to be taking a look at sub pens here, which a lot of people don't typically enjoy as a map, but maybe that's because they don't understand it or whether they just think it's not fun or anything. But this is actually one of my absolute favorite maps, as it does actually help you go on longer streaks. Like, I've had a couple of V2 rockets on this map already, and a couple of them had just been me chilling out, just playing, just on the BAR, just sort of getting into certain positions, and just actually dropping a V2 pretty casually. I didn't really know what was going to happen, and we just managed to pull it off, so that was pretty exciting there. So as we normally do, we're going to take a look at the flags here, and in the back room, this sort of tank storage room style area looking thing with the Jeep back there. This is storage room A, and this is where the C flag is. Again, you can sort of use this area as a little bit of a flank route. You do spawn back here occasionally. If we do walk towards this side of the map down this big long corridor, you can see this is where the B flag is. Typically, this is sort of noticed by that top room there. So if you are trying to capture the B flag, you will be under fire from basically everywhere on this map, including up there, which is one of the more powerful positions, including over there as well. The longer lines of sight down either side of the map, and then the submarine as well. If we continue on our way back down here, you'll see the A flag is all the way on the other side of the map, but this is a pretty important line of sight as well, just to flank down all the way over here. People do spawn back there in that doorway there and just sort of behind it as well. They also spawn this side. They'll come out of that usually, and they'll come out of that door there usually as well. And if we do go all the way around here, you can see like the nice port town. Not a lot of good stuff happening over there. Apparently everything's on fire, but if we were to move over this way, we can see that the A flag is all the way in front of this truck, and it does sort of lead over to the submarine fairly easily there. So the first thing I wanted to talk about on this map is my absolute favorite position on it, and it is this particular spot here. Now, if you do destroy that box and you get some of the stuff out of the way, you really can use this. Like, this is an unbeatable spot here for the most part. Like, you can see that doorway there, and if people do spawn back there, you get a pretty easy shot on them, especially if you do have like a longer range assault rifle or even a sniper or that, you can just get easy kills there. Even an SMG, you just fire into that doorway, get lots of kills, and then you rotate back around this side, you still have a view of the door. If people are expecting you to be on that side, you just shoot them from this side, and so on, vice versa. You just keep switching between these two positions. Sometimes you even take it a little wider here. You maybe want to go back here sometimes and even swap it out for a third position. Somebody might catch you by surprise from there or even down there, which is a little less ideal. So you only use that kind of sparingly, but for the most part, you really can just sort of bounce between these two areas of the map. Don't peek out from the same spot more than twice in a row because you will get your head shot. If somebody is expecting you to be here, typically just drop over to the other side and get a nice easy shot on them, because this is a very common position if you are playing on sub pens, because this is where a spawn is and you just get loads and loads of kills. Especially as people do try and jump onto the submarine, they'll even climb up this ladder here, they'll even climb up the stairs, they'll even climb onto here. So you can really just take people by surprise while they are moving, doing other things other than be ready to shoot you. Another important thing to keep in mind, this usually is a really bad spot to hide in, because if people do know you're in here, they can literally just shoot through this and will be able to shoot you, and you're just really a sitting duck here. The only time you do want to use this area is if you are in a little bit of trouble. Say you can take somebody out and then just move away from this position. So get a kill here, do not sit in here, and then move away, because you will die if somebody does shoot you through this box. Same goes to the other side. It is exactly the same little shed style area. Again, there's no real reason to be in here. Again, you are a little less exposed, I guess, but again, you're really just shooting people who are there and there, and if they're expecting you to be in here, they're just going to shoot you through the shed, so don't stay in the sheds here. There is a little dark little spot back here, which you can maybe expect people to sit in sometimes. It's a little tricky to get people out of this spot, especially if you are just sort of running from the A flag, just running towards the other side of the map. If somebody is sitting in there, it's really tough for you to kill them. So again, just be aware that somebody might be sitting up there. Just check that corner every once in a while. Talking about the submarine here, this is very exposed, and I typically don't usually like to go on the submarine, as if you are up here, you do have to be aware of about 3 or 4 different positions at any given time. You're going to be especially seen from up the top there, which is again one of the more frequently trafficked areas of the map. We'll talk about that more in a second. But again, you are visible from like there, all the way back there, the stairs. You're visible from there, you're visible from there, visible from the shed. The other side is basically the same as well. Typically, I don't recommend going on the submarine unless you are using it to sort of traverse this area. Like, you can actually just use these bombs to go up here and then jump up here and then take this area by surprise. Like, that's a pretty good little run out. But again, just because you are up here, you're very exposed. You can even get up here. You can't go in there, sadly. It would be cool if you could go in there to be like the spot on Gavutu, where you can just sit in the little eye-risey bit on the ship. But again, this is very exposed here. Typically, you do not want to be spending an awful lot of time in these areas. And again, something like this as well is a nice spot very rarely. Like, you might be able to just pick somebody off who is in that little box there, but like, look where you're exposed from. Back there, like that line of sight, that doorway, you do not want to be up here for any serious length of time. But you can use these little spots behind them to actually just sort of get a little head glitch here, maybe peek out wide on somebody, get a nice little assault rifle kill or a sniper kill on them, and then move from that position, because they will be expecting you to still be sitting there. So You use that to your advantage. You use the big long lines aside on this map. Like, they're really just straight corridors for the most part. So say, for example, you get a kill here. You got your assault rifle, you got your sniper, and you get a kill on that doorway there. Then what you do is you actually move to the next spot, which is probably going to be something like this. They might be still expecting you to sit on that box there, and if you're in this spot, you get a really nice, easy follow-up kill on them. And then again, you keep going. You continue on your merry way. You don't sit in the same spot for more than once if you are trying to move around this map. Because again, you can just sit on this spot, and they're still expecting you to be there, or even in the other spot still. You just get a nice, easy kill on them. You got to be watching out for that spot there. I'll show you what it looks like from the other side. This is a spot where a lot of people do sit, because it is quite safe here. You're really well protected. You can't be seen from there. You can be seen from behind you. But other than that, you're really only looking there, and that is basically a direct line of sight from the stairs. So I've been killed a number of times, actually lost a pretty decent streak to it. Like, you'll be walking up the stairs here, and that is where you have to look pretty much immediately. So there, that little cutout thing there, and then you can see people do walk through the little back doorway there. So again, if you are coming up on these stairs, you do have to be aware of basically that spot first, because I've been killed a number of times when people sit there, because it's very actually quite powerful. So you can also use the torpedo looking things to just sort of jump into the area again. You don't usually want to be using this, as again, as I mentioned, you are quite exposed, especially from up the top there, as people do love to sit up there. We'll go show that off just a little second. Because again, you really just can see that this is super exposed, and you don't want to spend too much time on the submarine. Typically, I do like to spend most of my time on this map running down these side corridors. You can spend a fair bit of time running in and out of that corridor as well. There's a lot of gunfights that you can usually pick. Typically, if you're up the top, you'll be shooting down the bottom of the stairway. Again, we'll show that in a second. But for the most part, I do like to spend a lot of my time on this map on this side of it, because it is really easy to just sort of move and traverse the area, especially when you can even drop down below, get a nice flank on somebody. Say somebody is sitting on these boxes here or that box there. You really just have to run all the way below them and then climb up the ladder, for example, and get a nice kill on them behind them. Because again, you just got to think about how you move around this map. You don't really want to be exposed for too long, and you want to just be ducking in and out of the close quarters areas. So if you do go all the way down here into the bottom layer here, you can use this to sort of traverse this area and come up behind people who are spawning in the A flag. This is fairly common. You will usually find somebody who is just sort of sprinting from this side. They'll go up there. They won't be expecting you to be here. You get an easy kill on them there. And again, you can control that little building that we did talk about previously from the other side of the map. You can just get them there. They spawn on the A flag. They sometimes spawn back there as well while you are standing here. I've seen it happen. It's a little bit sketchy sometimes. So just get your kills there, maybe get your kills there, and either rotate back around or try and push through. Try and do something. Don't just sit in the doorway there, because once you're sitting there, once they know you're there, you're pretty easy to kill because you're very visible in that doorway there. Another spot people do like to sit in is this little gross spot here, man. Like, I've seen guys just get up the deployable shields. I've had some guys put a deployable shield there, and then he put another deployable shield there, and he literally just sat here and waited for people to walk into him. It was absolutely disgusting. He chucked like an incendiary grenade or something like that, and I didn't even get him out of the area. It was just so gross. So again, if you do walk into this area, you sort of have to be aware of the upstairs bit first. So basically check there. That is a deployable or a destroyable wall rather. So you can see that that does break, and people do sit in there. Again, we'll talk about this as we move into this area. But again, the third or fourth places that you have to check, really this is probably the first place you have to check as you walk up the stairs here, just to see if there's anybody in that corner. And again, similar spot to that. If you do come from this side, somebody might be sitting in there, so just care. And then once you have determined that there's nobody there, you got to check that corner, get a check that corner there as well, because people love sitting up there. This is very, very highly trafficked. You can use this area to sort of jump up here. Again, you can use this as a little bit of a line of sight there. You can see towards all the way back that doorway there if you just get all the stuff out of the way. You can get a nice little shot on people who do walk through that doorway pretty carelessly, because you're hard to see from back there if we show the reverse angle. If we show the reverse angle, look, that is what you can see there. You can be seen from back there, but again, they really only get to see a few pixels. If they are sprinting in here, they're just like, oh, what, is it there, is it there? And then they won't be able to see you in time. So just keep that in mind. Again, if you are in this position here, this is a fairly commonly trafficked area to stop people from coming from the A flag. Again, you will see a lot, and I mean a lot, of grenade spam in this area. So you'll have people chucking the grenades up here fairly commonly, but you'll also have people chucking the grenades down there. If you land an incendiary grenade in that area there and it sort of blocks off that doorway, you'll be set for a little while. People might even try and push through it, and you just get an easy couple of shots on them and they die. So what people love to do on this map is that they'll be in this area, and then they'll be in this area. The best thing for you to do is actually let the enemy take a little bit of that space, back off, get another kill across the map. Maybe say there's some guys trying to flank on that side, get a couple of kills on them there, and then rotate back to this spot, because when they get halfway up the stairs, as you have actually let them do, they'll think it's a little bit safer. There's nobody here. Oh, there isn't anybody killing me immediately. All right, let's push up the stairs. And just as they push up the stairs, make sure you rotate back. That's why it's pretty important to just get 1 or 2 kills on the other side of the map and then rotate back immediately. And just be ready to get a shot on somebody who does come up the stairs here, because they're going to be a little caught off guard. If they don't see anybody up here, they will immediately just go, yep, time to push, and you just shoot him in the head, man. They won't be ready for it. You'll be able to get easy kills. I do that all the time on this map, and it happens a really lot of times here. I'm serious. Like, this side is a little less effective at that. It's not really the same, but this side, man, if you just get a couple of kills, like get 1 or 2 kills, maybe shoot somebody who does come up the stairs there, get a kill on them there, and then get another kill on somebody who is sitting on that spot there. If you rotate back, somebody will be about halfway up the stairs pretty much most of the time. You get an easy kill on them, and then just the cycle repeats itself. You really can just hold this area, and then just let them have the space, let them have a little bit of area there. I think they're safe. Get some shots on those guys there, get some shots on those guys there. Maybe somebody's on the ship. Maybe somebody's in the submarine, get a couple of kills on that side. And then rotate back as quick as you can, because they'll be about halfway up the stairs, getting lots of easy kills on them there. It's such a reliable way to play this area of the map. Such a super fun way to get lots of kills as well. So if we were to talk about how to try and actually take this area upstairs bit, you can sort of use it to get a pixel peek on somebody, just like maybe use that area there. But again, I really don't recommend trying to take this area just by force. Like, you do have to play a little bit carefully. Sometimes you can't really just sort of take it head on, because if you're in this area here, an enemy is going to be on the top of that stairway, just literally looking at you, waiting for you to peek out. So don't do it that way. That's not the good way to do it. How I would do it is I would try and get nice and close to this area here, try and get nice and close to these boxes. Just time this appropriately again. As if people are playing the way we just suggested, they'll get a couple of kills here, they'll get a couple of kills here, and then they will rotate back across. And they won't typically peek out this wide. They'll literally just sort of stay on this area here, use the wall as cover, and they won't really look this far away. So you can use this as a little bit of an area where you can just go whoop, whoop, get a little bit of an upbeat bit. And if you're pretty confident that there's nobody going to be here, you just jump up and you get an easy kill on somebody who is just standing here doing the strat that we talked about previously. And then once you control this area, you can let the boys come up the stairs very easily, and then you can push back and you can sort of get the little control of the high groundy bit. This isn't as useful as an area because you do have that long corridor, but still people do sprint out of this area without their gun raise. So again, you can get some easy kills on them there. And you do the same thing from that side there. There's a little cornery bit that you can see just in that area there. You can get a decent amount of kills on them there. And if they are climbing up the ladder here, you're really going to get an easy kill on them there. And somebody might come from this way and they're going to try and go on the flank. And because you are holding the stairs here, you check that area there, you really do have an advantage on them there, because it's tough for them. It's tough for them if they come into this area. It's tough for them to go like, oh, I gotta check there, gotta check there, gotta check there, gotta check. Like, they can't check that many spots in that quick a time. So they just really have to guess about where somebody might be. And they're really just a sitting duck, because most people will just sprint through here without thinking too hard and try and get the kills, like the revenge kills on people who might be sitting up here. So again, that's how I usually take this area. I don't try and usually force it. Like, you can, of course, chuck an incendiary grenade, chuck some grenades up the stairs and try and force it, which does work occasionally, but it's usually better to just do a little bit more tactically, just like come in this area here. Don't stay in this spot for too long, because again, you're exposed from there, like that spot there, that spot there. Across the map, you're really exposed here. So just do this quickly, in and out, and then just get a couple of kills, and then control this area. Let the boys through, and then push on that side of the map. Again, there is like the steam pumpy room that we can see the maintenance room as we go all the way back around to the side of the sea flag. You can use this area to sort of pick people off who are sitting in this area, sort of sniping towards the middle of the map. Again, you can sort of jump down these stairs. A lot of people do sit in the other room here, which we can see over this side with the truck. Storage room B, by the looks of things. You can see people do love to sit in this area here because they can see people walking down the stairs, and you got a pretty nice shot on the people there. A pretty nice shot on people on that side of the map as well. So this is a fairly common spot. A lot of the attack dogs actually do spawn in this area here, and it kind of bugs them out occasionally, so just keep an eye out for that. Don't walk too close to these boxes if there's dogs barking around this area, because you will die. And again, move into this area here, maybe just check that way there. If you got a long range weapon, you should be pretty good to move up here. But really just try and stay close to the walls here, and just move quickly through this area here, because you don't really want to be exposed for too long. Because as I said, like, there's a lot of lines of sight on most of this map where you can get shot from. So you just want to run down here, be as quick as possible, check that area there, keep moving up. People will usually like to sit in this area here. Again, as we mentioned, they will be sitting in this area looking towards this side, because a lot of people go out there. And if you're coming down here, you get an easy kill on somebody who was just sitting on this box. People do like to sit on these barrels here, this barrel here, and look towards it. So if you're just coming on this flank here, coming all the way around, you get that dead silence maybe, and you just get some easy frags on people who are just sitting here minding their own business, get a couple of kills, and you just keep moving. Keep moving down the side of the map, get somebody who's on the top of the ship, and then keep moving. Again, get somebody who is there. Keep moving forward, keep moving forward, get that kill on that guy there, get that kill on that guy there. Somebody tells to go on the submarine, you get another kill there. And then you just control this area. You really just can control this area of the map. They'll keep spawning back there, especially if it's domination. They have control of the A flag and you've got either B or C. You really can just sit here for the entirety of the map and just go get a couple of kills there, get a couple of kills there, rotate back across, get somebody who's on the submarine, kill them. Maybe somebody climbs up. Maybe somebody's going to try and come down this way, come on the ladder, take you by surprise. Maybe somebody manages to flank all the way here, so you do have to occasionally just know where people are on the map, because they will come sometimes. They'll sometimes come this side, and if you're standing there, you're a very easy kill. So just be aware of your surroundings and use this spot, man. Use this rotate to just sort of get there. Take some shots there, take some shots there, get lots of kills, rotate back, get some kills there. It's a very, very simple little gameplay loop, but it is actually one of my favorite maps and one of the easiest maps that you can play in Vanguard at the moment to try and get as many V2 rockets as possible. So again, there's not really too much else to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot of spots that I did miss, but that is really how I play the map most of the time. I usually just use that area there, and if you are in certain situations, you want to just be trying to minimize where you can get shot from, and that's really all I do have to say about this map. There is, of course, as I said, a lot more areas that we didn't cover. Of course, you can jump up here if you do really feel like this is necessary, but again, not really useful of a spot. If you do think there is something that I did miss, we'll talk about it in the comments below. Let me know what I did miss, and we will definitely talk about it again. Thank you very much for watching these videos. I do massively appreciate it. Of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on as well. If you do want to see more of this stuff, I do massively appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching, as I said, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!